The most recent release in the Mortal Kombat franchise, Mortal Kombat 11, is maintaining the momentum that NetherRealm Studios created with the revival of the franchise in 2011. Mortal Kombat as a franchise can be essentially split into two eras, mirroring the two story continuities of the franchise, the Midway era and the NetherRealm Studios era. While the NetherRealm era is marked by healthy periodic releases for the franchise, although those who have completed the story mode for Mortal Kombat 11 may be left wondering what lies ahead for Mortal Kombat, one thing that differentiates this current NetherRealm era from the previous Midway era is the absence of spin-off titles. Spin-off titles such as Mortal Kombat Special Forces starring Jax Briggs, Mortal Kombat Mythologies Sub-Zero starring Sub-Zero, and Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. These spin-off titles for the Mortal Kombat franchise were meant to diversify. Mortal Kombat is a fighting game franchise, and these spin-offs are different types of action games. Interestingly, Special Forces and Mythologies are both seen as cleanly fitting into and explaining key parts of the canon of the Midway continuity, while Shaolin Monks is seen as an absolute mess with regards to integration into the Midway continuity. But with regards to gameplay and reception, Shaolin Monks stands very clearly above the other spin-off titles. Let's take a look into what made Shaolin Monks so interesting and so much of a standout as a game. Let's note that Shaolin Monks released after Mortal Kombat Deception, the sixth mainline entry in the Mortal Kombat franchise. By this point in the series canon, Liu Kang had actually already died and existed in two forms, an animated zombie, unpossessed by the true soul of Liu Kang, and a separate presence, the soul of Liu Kang. It's already been stated that Shaolin Monks presents problems with regards to smooth story integration, so we'll not dwell on this aspect or what is introduced in Shaolin Monks too much. We can begin with a comment on the choice of characters. Liu Kang and Kung Lao are both characters introduced early into the franchise's life, and have a degree of importance in franchise lore, though Liu Kang pretty clearly more so. Kung Lao is not without his importance, even he is more easily overshadowed by the repeat Earthrealm Mortal Kombat Tournament champion Liu Kang. He is a descendant of the great Kung Lao, himself also an Earthrealm Mortal Kombat Tournament champion many years ago. The two of them are both Chinese monks and members of the White Lotus Society, a secretive sect of monks, the membership appointment of which is very closed. Founded by Raiden, it's a group specifically designed for training warriors that will defend Earthrealm from threats that other realms produce against them. Kung Lao and Liu Kang are something akin to blood brothers in that sense, and this is a dynamic that's also more clearly apparent in the NetherRealm continuity games. Suffice it to say, since both are heroes and both belong to the same warrior group, have spent much time with each other training, and have a strong bond, there are few comparable pairs of characters you could choose that do better than these two. That being said, while these two are the stars of the game, Sub-Zero and Scorpion also feature as playable characters, alongside a handful of others that are only playable in Versus mode: Kitana, Reptile, Baraka, and Johnny Cage. As for the game's strong points, there are several. It does its best to recall familiar Mortal Kombat movesets, with fatality inputs and adapted character movesets to suit the game's movement in 3D. The game's movement and attacking and fatalities are done by building up a fatality meter, after which a fatality can be executed on an enemy, and the enemy need not be on the verge of death. Not all attacks are immediately available to you though. They may have to be unlocked by purchasing them using experience points earned through play. Special attacks can also be enhanced through upgrading them with earned experience points. While experience points earned through boss fights, which include a variety of familiar Mortal Kombat faces, are fixed, you can alter how much experience points you earn from minor enemies based on the way that you defeat them. The control system includes a quick attack button, a power attack button, a button for launches, and a button for throws, alongside buttons for executing fatalities and for locking on to enemies. There is also a modifier button, through which many special attacks are accessed by pressing that button in combination with other face buttons. It adds up to an experience that makes fighting simple and yet interesting, but the game also gives you options in terms of movement too. Evade enemies by locking onto them and pressing the jump button. Some of the boss fights in the game will unlock special abilities, such as a long jump, a double jump, and the ability to run on walls. Interesting actions can be performed on enemies, such as using an enemy as a meat shield against other attacks, leaping off of another enemy, or knocking them into an environmental hazard. While players can proceed through the game's main scenario with one player, cooperative multiplayer play is an option and is in fact encouraged, since some areas are only accessible with a partner to play with. The game's main scenario also offers more than just fighting, with some difficult puzzles to contend with. As a gaming experience, it is a welcome break from constantly mashing buttons to proceed. It makes the game feel more sophisticated and dynamic, more full and well-rounded as an experience. These points aside, Shaolin Monks was also planned to take place after the first Mortal Kombat title, and so there are familiar locales seen in the game, such as the Living Forest. Adding to a sense of nostalgia is the fact that the soundtrack features remixes of songs from the first and second games, and the fact that Mortal Kombat 2 can be unlocked by completing a set of missions within the main scenario campaign. Scattered throughout the main scenario campaign are red coins that, when collected, unlock a variety of cool in-game content, including concept art or new characters. Some of these coins require backtracking, while others will require playthrough with a partner. The collectible system here is not greatly burdensome or overwhelming, as might be seen in other games that heavily emphasize on collectibles. And that concludes our video on the Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks and what makes it special. It defied expectations, the bar set low by previous action games for the Mortal Kombat franchise by being a game that was both a spin-off, but from which the spirit of the Mortal Kombat franchise could also be clearly felt. Did you play Shaolin Monks? What did you think of the planned sequel featuring Sub-Zero and Scorpion that was cancelled? Keep in mind that while Scorpion has become a hero character in the NetherRealm continuity, Scorpion was really neither hero nor villain in the Midway continuity, while Sub-Zero was a hero in both continuities. Do you think that the NetherRealm continuity could benefit from a spin-off? And if so, what game would you want to see? Should any non-fighting game content be relegated to a separate mode in future Mortal Kombat games, similar to the Crypt mode in Mortal Kombat 11? Or do you think that there shouldn't be any spin-offs at all, and that NetherRealm should focus on developing DLC characters or the competitive tournament presence for Mortal Kombat 11? What do you think of the released DLC characters for Mortal Kombat 11 so far? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. And that wraps it up. If you like what we're doing, please consider subscribing to our channel. We upload new videos daily, so make sure you don't miss them by subscribing. We appreciate your support, and we thank you for checking us out.